Hey, did you see that Tata Investment shares jumped over 8% this morning? Crazy, right?
Yeah, I did. It's all because the Tata Capital Board gave the green light for their IPO. Seems like big news in the Tata Group.
So basically, Tata Capital is finally going public? What's the deal with that?
Exactly. The IPO will include issuing 23 crore new equity shares, and some existing shareholders are planning to sell their stakes too. Well, the stock market can be pretty unpredictable. So, disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
That's huge. It's been a while since we saw an IPO from the Tata Group, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The last one was Tata Technologies back in November, which was a pretty big deal. Seems like everyone's excited about this one too.
So, who exactly owns Tata Capital right now?
Well, Tata Sons is the big daddy, holding around 92.8% of the shares as of March 2024. They also have a significant stake, like 68.51% in Tata Investment Corporation. It's all interconnected.
Interesting. So, why the IPO now? Is there like a specific reason?
Good question. Actually, the Reserve Bank of India, the RBI, has a rule that requires certain non-banking financial companies, NBFCs, to go public within 3 years of being classified as upper layer. So Tata Capital is just following those guidelines.
Makes sense. So it's like the RBI is pushing them to become more transparent and accountable.
Precisely. Tata Capital Financial Services, which merged with Tata Capital earlier this year, was one of the entities listed by the RBI. So they have to get this done by September 2025.
Got it. What kind of business does Tata Capital even do?
They're into pretty much everything related to finance. Think loans for housing, personal loans, credit cards, investment banking, life insurance. They're like a one-stop shop for financial services.
Wow. So they're involved in a lot of different areas. Seems like a pretty diverse operation.
Yeah, and they serve a wide range of clients too. Individuals, businesses, institutions, you name it, they probably handle it.
And this IPO, it's being managed by Kotak Investment Banking, right?
That's correct. They started prepping for this way back in December. So it's been in the works for a while.
So what's the structure of Tata Capital? I mean, how are they organized?
Well, Tata Capital is basically the holding company for several lending businesses, such as Tata Capital Financial Services, Tata Capital Housing Finance, and Tata Clean Tech Capital. They also have investment and advisory arms like Tata Securities, Tata Capital Singapore, and their private equity division.
Okay, so it's like a parent company overseeing a bunch of different specialized units?
Exactly. Think of it as a tree with different branches, each handling different aspects of the financial world.
Makes sense. So why is Tata Capital so important to the Tata Group as a whole?
It's because they basically fund a lot of the other entities within the group. So they play a vital role in making sure everything runs smoothly. They're like the financial backbone of the entire conglomerate.
So this IPO is a pretty big deal for the Tata Group then, right?
Absolutely. It's not just another IPO. It's a strategic move that aligns with regulatory requirements and could unlock significant value for the group.
Are there any potential downsides or risks associated with this IPO?
Well, every IPO comes with risks. Market conditions could change, investor sentiment could shift, and there's always the chance that the company might not perform as expected.
True. The market can be pretty unpredictable, especially these days.
Exactly. It's like trying to predict the weather. You can make educated guesses, but you never really know what's going to happen.
So what's the vibe? Are people generally optimistic about this IPO?
From what I've seen, yeah, the successful listing of Tata Technologies last year definitely boosted confidence. And Tata Capital has a solid reputation and a strong presence in the financial services sector.
Good point. Tata Tech did really well. So if you're looking at the big picture, what do you think this IPO means for the future of Tata Capitals?
I think it's a game changer. It will give them access to more capital, enhance their visibility, and ultimately help them grow and expand their operations.
It's like giving them a turbo boost, right?
Precisely. It's like they are leveling up.
How will this affect Tata Investment Corporation?
Since Tata Sons holds a significant stake in both Tata Investment Corporation and Tata Capital, the IPO could potentially boost Tata Investment Corporation's value as well. It's all interconnected.
That makes sense. So it's a positive sign for them too.
Yeah, it could be a win-win situation for everyone involved. It is a bit complex.
It's been 2 decades since we last saw an IPO, right?
Well, the reports suggest this will be the Tata Group's second IPO in 2 decades, following Tata Technologies last year.
And if people are interested in diving deeper, where should they look?
Financial news outlets, the company's official announcements, and regulatory filings are the best places to start. Do your homework and stay informed.
What about for individuals who use Tata Capital services? Will they see any changes?
In the short term, probably not much, but in the long run, the IPO could lead to more innovation, better services, and maybe even lower costs as the company becomes more efficient and competitive.
That's good news for consumers. More competition usually means better deals.
Exactly. It's all about creating value for stakeholders, including customers.
This IPO seems like it could set off a chain reaction of good things for the Tata Group.
That's the hope, anyway. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond and watching the ripples spread.
Yeah, it's like a domino effect. One good thing leads to another.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So many investment options, it can be hard to choose.
So, to sum it up, Tata Capital's IPO is a pretty big deal for the Tata Group, driven by RBI regulations, aimed at boosting growth and potentially benefiting everyone involved.
Exactly. It's a strategic move that could have a lasting impact on the financial landscape. And if you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insights.
Absolutely. We'll keep you updated on any new developments. What's next for Tata, do you think?
Hard to say for sure, but based on their track record, I'd expect them to continue innovating, expanding, and solidifying their position as a leader in the Indian market.